I'll be right back. All right, before we go any further, if you have this mouse, I need you to pause the video, go down into the comments and let me know what you think about it before we go any further. Don't worry, I'll wait. You done? All right, let's talk about what might be the most confusing mouse I've ever used. What's good with it, kinfolk? Back again with Bang, budget and new gear reviews to get the best bang for your tech dollars. And I'm here after about 90 days with the Cooler Master MM720 gaming mouse. And I still don't know how I really feel about it, but don't worry, we'll work it out together. Now, my mouse reviews are usually pretty straightforward. I unbox it, shoot a bunch of B-roll, play a whole lot of games, and I come back and I tell y'all how I feel about it. But something about the MM720 just hit different. I remember watching some early reviews about it and I added it to my cart with a bunch of tech items I had plans to do videos on. When it arrived, I knew it wasn't going to be the first thing I was focused on, so I simply added it to my setup and started using it as a daily driver. It was then that I realized this wasn't going to get any normal unboxing or review. Now, for those of you who have never heard of this mouse, let's give just a few specs. The MM720 is Cooler Master's addition to the recently popular lightweight mouse craze, complete with a honeycomb shell that looks like it was a victim of one of my infamous Call of Duty spray and prays. It has PTFE feet on the bottom, what they call an ultra weave cable, and customizable RGB via the software. There are optical switches, a PMW3389 sensor, and a bunch of other blah 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 tech specs. The big or little deal about this is the size and the shape. Now, I'm used to much longer mice with different shapes that allow for a variety of playing styles and grips, but the MM720 was the first time I used a mouse with this specific feel to it. Optimized specifically to be used with a claw grip, it took a lot of adjusting to get used to. Now, I've said this before in my mouse reviews, I've never really taken the time to analyze or put much thought into my specific hand grip and playing style. I just like the game. I'm not a professional, I really don't aim train, I'm not trying to be a headshot specialist. I'm just a grinder who likes to take fools out. The MM720 was the first time I've had to put thought process into not just how I held the mouse, but also the way I moved my wrist and arm. I ain't like that. But I persevered and eventually muscle memory and repetition set in, and I was back to my normal self in Black Ops. Now, when it comes to quality and how it feels in hand, I can only comment on what I have here. If you have any other issues or opinions, please leave them down in the comments for the class to read. Now, remember when I said I didn't shoot any early B-roll? That's why this mouse looks used, because, well, it is. Now, unlike some other reviewers, I never do any unnecessary movements or squeeze in the test creaks or button presses. To me, it feels super solid even at the light weight of 49 grams. The left and right button clicks give an impressive sound that coincides with the actual actuation. I never feel like I'm missing a click or that my finger is out of place when I aim and shoot. Now I have somewhat larger hands and find myself doing more of a hybrid claw while gaming. This is probably the worst way to use this mouse, as I realize the bottom of my palm mainly rests on the desk, and that can provide some fatigue during longer sessions. As for the side buttons, I use those more often for editing than gaming, thanks to the programmable software, as they are just a tad bit too high on the body for me, so my thumb tends to just rest in the groove, hanging out, chilling and whatnot. You know the vibe. The stock feet on the bottom feel adequate enough, but I use this mainly on my vinyl covered table, and I can notice some scratches from time to time. It's nowhere near as prevalent when I use a desk mat, so moral of the story, just get a desk mat. Either way, it does feel quick and responsive, no matter what surface you use it on. The scroll wheel is solid. I didn't notice any side play, and that ultra weave cable is ultra meh at best. It's somewhat heavier than other options I've tried. I suggest getting a mouse bungee if it bothers you that much. But let's get back to the gaming, because with any mouse, my recommendation is going to come down to whether you can have an enjoyable experience using it or not. And that's where this gets kinda complicated. Even when I made the jump from using much heavier mice to ones with lightweight shells, the overall shape and size felt familiar. This is the first time it all felt different. At first I really hated it and I didn't understand the glowing reviews that people gave it. But after 90 days, I can honestly say, give it a try. The claw grip style can take a while to get used to, but for FPS shooters, I feel like it puts me in the right position to fire fast, where other mice may have a more relaxed grip, causing me to chill a bit. Now, it still feels unnatural for me to always be in that position, but I also feel like I'm half a frame faster to fire in high intensity situations. Now, I'm not saying it's making me or that it will make you a better gamer. If you're trash, you're probably still going to be trash. You might just be slightly quicker on the draw, slightly. Overall, I was actually pleasantly surprised in the end by the unique shape, the impressive build quality, and its desktop quickness. At 50 bucks, I can see the MM720 being a lot of people's favorite mouse. Now, all of this is subjective, so it won't be for everyone, and that's okay because honestly, I still don't even know if it's for me. But I will say this, I've had the Razer Viper Ultimate here for a few weeks, and I've had no real desire to switch this mouse out, other than just wanting to get a video done. Again, if you do not like this shape and size, and you know that the extreme claw grip just ain't your jam, then honestly, look elsewhere. I have way more mouse reviews coming, but if you're looking for a suggestion, check the playlist down below in the description to help you get started. Now I'm gonna get up out of here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and never forget to holler at your boy. Gotta love a snow day off in Texas.